Let's go and speak to Dr. Solomon Owusu, who is a mining engineer and minerals economic consultant. Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
I was expecting you in the studio this morning.
I'm doing very well.
Anyway, it's nice to have you on the line. First, let's start from the matter of Heath Gold and Blue Gold. Now, give us a bit of a background. What happened, and why is that a pressing issue that you believe should be dealt with urgently?
Yes, thank you very much. The government, the previous government, took some steps in revoking the mining lease of Blue Gold FGL, which the company found it to be unlawful and unreasonable. So the matter is hanging in the neck of the government right now through litigation. My brother, these guys started the mine, and then at some point they faced some financial difficulties. They pleaded with the government, and then the government gave them some steps to take. Unfortunately, things went back, and then the government terminated their mining in September 2024. After the time the government terminated their license or their lease, these guys had some money from investors to invest in the mine, but the government didn't listen to them. Not knowing they had plans to give the mine to Hisco. So in November, the government approved a mining lease for Hisco to mine the Hisco on conditions that they will satisfy the payment of all debts, including the workers' compensations, and then the suppliers, the debts that they have, and other debts, including net payment of taxes and all that. These gold agreed and took the money, not knowing they didn't have the money. So from that time up to today, the mine has been facing financial challenges similar to Heath Gold. Now Heath Gold is suffering, and then the employees raised alarm, demonstrated. Now the chief inspector of mines went there to shut the mine down. The mine is now under care and maintenance. The former workers are demonstrating they need their money. They don't have the money for them. Now, Blue Gold, FGR, has also taken the government to International Arbitration Court, demanding over $1 billion. In my view, if Heath Gold doesn't have the money to run the money, now Blue Gold has the money. In order not for the government to pay over $1 billion, if they win, the matter is in court. I can't say they will win or not. But if they win, they are going to take over $1 billion. If Heath Gold doesn't have the money to run the mine, is it okay for the government to come back to the thinking table, round table, and then negotiate with Blue Gold if they have the money to run the mine? They give it to them to run the mine because people need employment, government needs taxes, suppliers need jobs, the local economy needs to be boosted. So in my view, if the government will agree with me, instead of giving to another company and still suffer the litigation, let us sit down with Blue Gold, FGR, and then negotiate with them, give the mine to them back on condition that they will pay the workers, they will run the mine effectively, they will revamp the mine. And I think Blue Gold FGR is ready to do that. As a Ghanaian and paying taxes, I think the government should take a good step to address it. One other thing that can affect the government investors, if investors put in money and every day revocation of license, termination of lease, and all that, it will drive investors away. My brother, we sit down with them abroad, and sometimes when you tell somebody that, hey, there are a lot of those in Ghana, put your act together, go mine, you say, hey, there are red flags in your country. And this is a typical red flag. If investors get to know that they invest and later their leases are terminated without any compensation, without any payment, people will get out of this country. So I will plead with the government, the minister, the Minerals Commission, the EP, and all those people to come up with a way of addressing this matter.
So the very first issue you like them to deal with is the matter of the Blue Gold arbitration that they are currently pursuing.
Yes, that is very important, because if Blue Gold wins the case, government is going to pay over $1 billion. That's number one, because they have over 5 million ounces of gold underground that they need to mine, and the lease was just terminated without any compensation. Their assets there was not valued. The assets were not valued, and then any payment given to them. All these things are reasons why I'm saying, hey, go back to them, let's negotiate. Because investors are also watching what will come up from the International Arbitration Court. And investors normally make references from the International Arbitration Court to know which country is suitable for investment. So I think withdrawing the matter from International Arbitration Court, sit down with Blue Gold FGR and renegotiate with them will be the right way to go, in my view.
Then there's the matter of what you said about Heath Gold. You said they do not have the money?
Yes.
What's your basis?
Heath Gold took over from FGR Blue Gold. And currently, Heath Gold is the one owning the mine. Whether they have the mining lease, the operating permit and all that, I have no idea. But from the information I'm gathering, there are some illegalities going on, allegedly.
Illegalities?
If it's true, then I think it's a good way, or it's a focus. It's a focus to revoke the alliances and get a company that has the money to run the mine. Because you can't run a mine without funding. And it looks like Heath Gold doesn't have the funding capacity to run the mine.
And when you say you're picking information about some illegalities going on, what does this information point to that they are doing that is supposedly illegal?
Yeah, so from what I gathered, they don't have all the operating permits to mine, but they were mining before the chief inspector of mines went there with his team to shut the mine down, pending investigation. I've heard that the 5-member team or committee has finished the investigations, and they are comparing the reports, and they will submit the report late this week or early next week. So after the report, we will get to know whether the permit will be given to them to continue mining or it will be revoked.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to also cross-check, but this is the Heath Gold also says in fact they have a 5-year plan where they intend to spend 205 million in what they call a phase 1 strategy on this particular mine. So if they have that amount of money that they plan to spend over 5 years, certainly you cannot say that they do not have the money.
But have they satisfied their obligations of paying the debt? Have they paid the former workers as they promised the government? Yeah, I'm asking if they stated that in their publication too. They've not paid the workers. They've not paid the suppliers. They've not made certain basic payments for them to continue mining. So if they have the money, what is preventing them from, making the payment?
So you're asking whether they've been able to deal with the matter of the debts, the former workers who raise issues, and also suppliers who are owed.
And even SNIT and other taxes to the government. Double check whether they satisfied all these debts.
But they also said they'll be, because I'm still going back to this money that they said they'll be spending. They said the immediate priority is to complete the dewatering of the flooded mine by the first quarter of next year, which is 2026. They said this intensive process involves pumping out approximately 10 million liters of water that had accumulated every year over years of neglect. And it's talking about water levels in the mine, among others. But you think that for you, the test of whether or not they are financially viable is the payment of debts and the monies owed to staff and on behalf of staff?
Yes, my brother. Pumping the water from underground is the first step, because if you leave an underground mine, the water table beneath the surface produce some water to fill the mine, and you have to pump the water out from the stove, the dry, the heading, dry it, make it stable before workers can go there. That's the first step in the underground basement. When you have an underground that is being put on care and maintenance, that is operational cost. That they should have the money to do it. If you don't have the money to run the mine and do all these development, then why are you taking the mine? And the mine was given to them on conditions that, one, they will pay all debts. Two, they will revamp the mine, revitalize the mine. So if you accepted it, sign it, and over a year now, you've not satisfied it, are you capable of running the mine?
Well, this is, and let me read a quote from a report that I am also looking at. First, let me go through, because this is Heath Gold, the man who is in charge and running the company, says we acquired this lease in November 2024 for a 15-year period to develop this mine into a business that benefits the local community and the people of Ghana. Well, we have been here for just over 6 months and have not produced a single ounce of gold. He admits the extensive infrastructure development and rehabilitation work and significant investment made ahead of production demonstrates our commitment and seriousness. We are not here to leave tomorrow. We are here to stay. So he's saying, when you even count from November, it's been a year. They've not produced an ounce of gold, but they are already investing into the mine and preparing for production.
My brother, over a year, they are complaining about infrastructure projects and all that. Before you buy a mine, that is part of my job, you have to do feasibility studies to understand the project, know the cost, know how much you are going to gain from the project before you even buy. Did they conduct feasibility studies before buying the mine? Didn't they know that we have all these problems there that they need to address before getting the ounces? Why are they complaining? Does it mean they didn't have competent people to conduct the feasibility studies? You have got the mine. You got to run it. Because somebody was running it and its license was revoked because the government thought they didn't have the money to pay. And at the time that the license was revoked or the lease was revoked, these guys had the money to do it. The government said no. Under Abu Jinapo and the MPP government, they said no way because they had a plan to give it to somebody else. And from what I'm hearing, allegedly, some people close to them, were doing some stuff. That one I can't mention on radio or TV. I can't mention it in public. But they had some plan to revoke the license by all means and give it to some people. To some people that they think that anyway, let me end here. The point now is you got the money on conditions A, B, C, D. You've not satisfied the conditions. Now the government, in my view, needs to revoke their license and give it to someone or a company that has the financial capacity to run the mine. Finito. And I'm suggesting that Blue Gold SGR has the money now, and they are also at the International Arbitration Court getting the government to pay over $1 billion. If the government will renegotiate with them, for them to withdraw the litigation, and then they move forward, that will help all of us as a country. Other than that, if they win the case, government, you and I, our taxes, government is going to spend over $1 billion to pay Blue Gold SGR. That's what I think we need to prevent. If the government thinks that we have a case and they can win, fine. After the vocation from the Heath Gold, they can give to any other company. I don't have any problem with it. But in order to let Blue Gold withdraw the litigation, they should sit down with them and give the money back to them. That's my view.